Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Borough Radio. My name is James McIntosh, and it's just 5 minutes until kickoff. Gosport will be hoping for a similar result to Dorchester, where we won 3-0. And as for Salisbury, they come off an impressive 2-0 victory over Poole. And Salisbury's lineup today consists of number 1, Harrison Lee, 2, Aaron Simpson, 16, Richard McIntyre, 4, Thomas Leggett, 5, and their captain, Sidio John Batty, number 19, Jaden Perez, 20, Owen Dorr, 17, Ryan Penny, 11, Noah Coppin, 14, Joshua Hedges, and 15, Wayne Robinson. And your Gosport lineup today, starting in goal, number 1, Toby Stewart, number 2, Harry Kavanagh, 3, Rory Williams, and that's your skipper today. 4, Corey Jordan, 15, Joe Morrison, 14, Jake Cope making his home debut today, 7, Bradley Tarbuck, and another player making his first debut for the club is Christian Campbell, 9, Dan Wooden, 18, Rafa Ramos, and 19, Danny Hollins. And at the moment, the players just coming out of the pitch. We're just about to get into a moment of silence. And Jeremy, can you just tell the fans a bit about that?
I will do very quickly. Very well-loved member of the gospel community, Darren Blair, passed away last weekend. Perhaps if you get the microphone close enough to me, you'll hear when I do the announcement.
Yeah, well, that's a good idea. Well, like Jeremy said, we will be doing a minute's round of applause, so I will be silent during that time, just to pay my respects to like the other gospel fans. Oh yeah, the applause, sorry. But yeah, it should be a brilliant game, and the players just doing their warm-ups, getting ready for their round of applause. Like I said, it should be a really good game all in all. And we're just about to get into the round of applause now, playing our tributes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as I alluded to on some previous announcements, got a very sad moment now, but we're going to celebrate the life of a true pillar of the community here in Gosport. Many of you Gosport fans, Gosport people will know him. Darren Blair sadly passed away last weekend. He was a boxing coach first and foremost, but a friend to many, and also a gentleman who touched the lives of so many around the Gosport area. Very, very popular indeed, and I've been absolutely inundated with messages of memories of him this week. So the club now, along with you, we're going to pay tribute to an absolutely unique one-off gentleman with a minute's applause. Once the formalities have been finished out in the middle and the players are ready to go, we're going to pay tribute to Darren with a minute's applause. So just when the players are all organised, we'll do that. But many of you here today, I know, will have your own memories of him, will have had friendships with him, and will have memories forever. So, ladies and gentlemen, when the referee is ready, would you please be upstanding and join us in a minute's applause for Darren Blair. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for that. I know Darren's family.
And we are back on Gosport Radio. We've just done our minute's applause, and I'm sure you would have heard Jeremy just on the PA there, just doing a round of applause for everyone. And Jeremy, it was good to see the round of applause, everyone taking part in it. And like I said, there's a lot of people in the stadium. So in the end, a good tribute for him.
Absolutely. I think, you look around, I know our listeners can't, you look around, I think you've got over 1,000 here easily. And I would bet you that about 50% of the people in this ground will have known Darren, known the lives he's touched, what he's done. As a boxing coach, he took a lot of kids off the streets who had lost their way, introduced them to the discipline of boxing, to another way of life. And the amount of messages I've had this week, James, about him, it's just been absolutely incredible.
Well, I'm sure he'll be cheering on from up there,
I
and
hope so.
hopefully there'll
I
be
hope so.
three
Yeah.
points to cheer. But it will be Gosport shooting from my left to right, and Salisbury in all white, their traditional colours, and actually their nickname, the All Whites. But it'd be interesting to see how Gosport get on. They've just kicked off here at the AI Stadium, and should be a brilliant clash. They've got some outstanding players, I must say, Salisbury. One of them being their captain, John Batty, played with Wycombe Wanderers for a while, and probably their star man, I would imagine.
You've won a many. You look down their team sheet, and they've got a lot of quality through their side. I mean, you've got to look at, you've mentioned him, you've mentioned Ryan Penny, Noah Coppin, Josh Hedges, Tom Leggett. The list goes on and on and on. That's why they are where they are. But I think the key point today is this is a game. It sounds stupid, but you've got to play for 100 minutes because Salisbury are the team who've won the most games in stoppage time this
Yeah.
season, more than anyone else. So Gosport, they're 2-1 up with 5 minutes to go. Don't stop because this team will never stop running. They'll never stop trying.
Well, speaking as a gospel admin, there's been a lot of times where I've been keeping in contact with their results, and I've seen them get last minute goals, and I'm like, oh, blimmin' hell, they've only
Exactly.
gone and done it. So they're a good team to watch out for.
Yeah, and that's why they are where they are. I mean, Chesham are quite simply are a machine at the top, aren't they? But Salisbury, they are where they are for a reason. They deserve to be there.
Well, Salisbury currently under attack at the moment. Door whipping in across, finding Noah Coppin, who just heads over the gospel crossbar in an early chance, just on the first minute of the game, actually. So a bit worrying, and their first real chance at goal. Probably Noah Coppin maybe should have done a bit better there in front of goal.
Possibly difficult chance for him, but it was a quick whipped ball in and didn't have a lot of time to react, but did well to get the header, but it was off target. Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure what Toby Steward's doing there, just to the left of me, holding two poles and just kicking it out of play. It must have been for the warming up, I would imagine, for Salisbury.
Yeah, I think there was something on the pitch he's just removed. So yeah, simple as that, I think.
Well, it's going to be a goal kick from Toby Stewart after the Noah Coppin chance, just blazing the crossbar. And the goal kick initially meant for Kavanagh, it did fall to Penny, who's made it forward to Noah Coppin, just by that left corner flag. Coppin passing it back to number 16. 16, aiming for a cross, low driven cross, but it's cleared away by Danny Hollins. Radford just not getting on the end of it by Jake Copecan, the debutant. And now it's Rafa Ramos just going through this right hand channel. Back to Cope. Just near that halfway line. And it's blazed through by Kavanagh. Just trying to find Tarbuck, but it's lost Gosport possession. It was Simpson there just clearing it back out. But Gosport just maintaining a good bit of passing there, trying to maybe go for, I don't know, just holding a bit of possession, trying to stop Salisbury from holding most of it. Because we've seen Salisbury do it before, where they hold quite a few possession, and that's how they like to play.
Just got to settle it down. I mean, it's early doors. We've only played just shy under 3 minutes, and oh yeah, we thought they might have been an inkling. But one observation I've already made: that's twice that Gosport have tried to go route one with Salisbury, and I know they haven't got the tallest back line, so maybe that's Joe and Pat's preferred tactic. Don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Well, especially with some of our players. But as I do say that, it is currently 15 striding forward. Can he keep it in play? No, he can't. He just lets it run there. And that was Robinson. Robinson, he's already causing a lot of early threat in the first couple minutes here at the AI Stadium. Still Gosport nil, Salisbury nil, but it's what you would expect in the early couple minutes. And it will be a Gosport goal kick. Toby Stewart going to be taking it. But yeah, he looks to be a bit of a troublemaker, that Robinson. And Noah Coppin, we've seen him so many times. It's like that last time we played Salisbury. We had a lovely clash. I'm not sure if you remember.
Game, wasn't it? It was the FA Trophy.
It was the FA.
2-2 after 90 minutes in the penalty shootout, which we won. Yeah, so yeah, I think you've got two quality teams on display here. No wonder we got such a big crowd. It really is. And it's good. You just look around. The crowd is. We've easily got over 1,000. Easily.
Oh,
easily.
must do.
Easy.
Well, like you said, it was a brilliant game, that FA Vars tie, and it was a Toby Stewart masterclass in the end. I'm not sure if you remember. Saved every penalty. I'm not sure. Like, Gosport, not normally the greatest team involved in penalties, but that day, it was definitely one to remember for the Gosport fans.
Yeah, I think one got past him, but I think he saved every other one than that. But yeah, it was fantastic show of goalkeeping from him, and let's hope he isn't called on to save any penalties today.
Well, it's a throw in just by the dugouts here, and it looks as though it's going to be number 16. I'm not sure who's 16. I haven't actually got that on my team list, so I'll get that changed in a minute. But I'll pass back to Lee in goal. A brand new signing for Salisbury. Just nearly losing the ball to Dan Wooden there. The young keeper probably needs to be a bit careful of that, especially with Dan Wooden's pressure. We've seen it a couple of times this season, one against Walton and Hersham, where Wooden applied lots of heavy pressure. But as I do say that, it is Salisbury on the attack. It's Storr. And he does lose the ball, and it is a sliding challenge from our new
Who's gonna
signing.
win the book?
Well, that's going to be Campbell's first yellow card of his career, I would imagine. A lot of players just crowding around the referee at the moment.
Right, I'm trying to make sense of that. No, I don't think there's any intent.
Nah.
But I still think he's going in the book for it. The referee went straight for his pocket the minute that challenge happened.
Well, from looking up here in the press room, it just looked as though the challenge was a bit high there from the new signing.
Mistimed.
Yeah, exactly.
No intent, mistimed, but he will be. I think he's going to end up seeing a card for it. The referee is indeed doing that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, yellow in his hand.
Yellow.
So, yeah.
Well, we can confirm it's a yellow for the new signing, Christian Campbell. A brilliant new signing by the looks of it. I've seen a couple of his show reels. He did play for Respawn, and there was a magnificent bit of skill he did during his time. Got past around 5 defenders, and it was lovely. It's a shame he didn't get this goal, but I'll try and get it on the clip for the people watching at home. But yeah, it was a lovely clip. And I think the physio there, just over there near the Harry Mitson stand, just calling over to the physio team, just saying it's not really too bad and perhaps it's something he's going to have to run off. But will be a Salisbury free kick around 25 yards out from goal. Potentially quite a dangerous free kick.
Yes, I'm just sizing this up in my mind. That's going to be whipped in towards the penalty spot. It's going to be dangerous for Gosport. They're going to have to be on their guard here.
Well, we've already seen some of their players early on. I would imagine Robertson will be fancying himself. One of the bigger players inside that box, currently standing on the edge of it. John Batty running in. So let's see what they can do, Salisbury. It is a deep cross, but it's Joe Morrison who heads it out. But Salisbury just trying to head it back into the danger zone. Gosport still unable to clear. John Batty heading it back in before eventually Jake Cope can clear it. And good bit of work by Jake Cope, but still Salisbury maintaining heavy pressure before once again being cleared. And it's going to be a deep throw and just gone past the halfway line. And hopefully that be the danger averted for a moment.
For the minute, but really good work there from Joe Morrison. I thought to make two vital clearances as he did there, that's kept them at bay.
Oh, definitely. And as I do say that, it's Lee on the ball at the moment, the Salisbury keeper, passing it forward to John Batty. Just progressing past the halfway line. Back to John Batty. John Batty just searching for his options, but he chooses to pass it back to Leggett. Rafford just nearly winning back the ball, but instead Salisbury can keep hold of it. It's Dorr on the ball. Passing it out wide to Penny. Penny trying to lift in a ball. And yeah, just Noah Coppin can't get anything on it, as I think he was hoping to turn there, but just unsuccessful. And Gosport now hold the possession. It's Rory Williams. Hoofing the ball forward, trying to find Rafa Ramos, but unable to. It's good defending from Simpson. That's one back by Salisbury. Another ball hoofed forward into the Gosport half. This one, I think Toby Stewart, he's just going to let everyone free, and it will be a Gosport goal kick. And Harry Kavanagh just exchanging words with a couple of his players there. What do you think Harry's saying to the men? Got a lovely goal last Saturday against Dorchester.
Yes, he did, didn't he? Yes, he did. But hard to tell what he'd be saying. I mean, he is a crucial player, and I think he will be the key to unlocking, or one of the keys to unlocking the Salisbury defence today.
Well, Gosport, they're starting to find their form a bit more this year. 12 points from the last 24, 3 wins, 3 draws and 2 losses. So Gosport will be hoping for another win. And really, whoever wins this game, it puts them in prime position for that second spot in the league.
Yeah, it's such a critical game. If you look at the league table, if Gosport win with the games in hand, you fancy them to go on and potentially overhaul Salisbury. But if Salisbury win it, it's 9 points, and that's a hell of a climb.
Well, I suppose the only worry is, if we lose today, does this mean our title run's over between Chesham, or is it already over?
It is. If you're honest, if you're looking at Chesham, they're a machine, and they are just grinding out results. So unless they have a massive hiccup, I think that's already done.
Yeah.
Honestly. And I think everyone else is playing for second spot.
Well, Chesham, they're playing Sherlin today, so it'd be interesting to see how that game gets on. But as I do say that, it's Jordan who lifts the ball forward to the Salisbury touchline. And it's going to be 16 taking the throw in. Just passing it back to Simpson there. Back to the Salisbury captain and John Batty. Like I said before, I'm not sure if any of you heard it, just who might be tuning in now. Salisbury got some brilliant players in the lineup, and it was John Batty just on the ball. would have played with some big players, like quite literally big players. One of them being Akin Venwa. He was actually rated the strongest player on FIFA. So, but is he stronger than Rafa Ramos? I'm not sure.
All will be decided today. But, the virtual world against the real world. Yeah, who knows?
Be interesting to see some of these players, what rating they would actually get on FIFA. It'd be cool to get actually. I know a lot of these players are on Football Manager now. I was looking at it a couple of days ago. I think it was actually Dan Wooden who was rated the highest in the team. Would you agree with that one, Jeremy?
Wouldn't be surprised. I mean, he is now Gospel's most experienced player, the most goals and most appearances out of everyone. So.
Well, it's Salisbury just trying to lift the ball in. Initially causing Stewart a bit of trouble there. Couldn't catch it immediately, but he has kept hold of it, luckily.
Kept his composure well, didn't he? I imagine the ball's a little bit slick because there has been some very light rain here this morning, which means the pitch is probably quite slick and damp. So therefore, in turn, so will the football be.
Well, it's Gosport just trying to literally, they just can't seem to create any passes together. As it's Salisbury once again on the ball. And Joe Morrison and Williams there just combining well, sandwiching and collecting the ball. And they do pass it on to Kavanagh, who finds Rafa Ramos in the Salisbury half. But Rafa just losing the ball. I think a couple of Gosport players were just saying it went out for a throw-in, but play has continued.
No chance. The assistant referee was spot on. That was never out. So play to the whistle, keep going.
Well, exactly that. And it is Tarbok, menacing run forward, passing it forward to Dan Wooden. Back to Hollins. Hollins passes it out wide to the new signing. Campbell still on the ball, passing it forward to Danny Hollins. Back to Williams. Around 30 yards out from goal. A ball lifted into Campbell. Can Campbell keep it in? He does lose it, but it is a corner ball. Let's see what Gosport can do with this corner.
Yes,
it's Jeremy.
Set pieces we know, don't we?
Yeah,
James?
exactly.
So they can bludgeon other teams like with literally hammer-like with set pieces, particularly in the last game against Merthyr. So let's see what they can do this time.
Well, you alluded to it earlier. Salisbury, they're not exactly the tallest team, and that is one of Gosport's biggest points, quite literally. We've got some big players in that box. Rafa, Joe, Corey, Jake even, the new signing.
The big ones are there. Let's see, here it comes.
Oh, it's going to be a corner ball taken by Campbell, and it's not going to find Kavanagh. In the end, not a great corner.
No, you'll be disappointed with that.
Well, it trickles its way back to Tarbach, out wide to Kavanagh in this right-hand channel. Around 20 yards out from goal. Corey to Kavanagh. And the ball has been worked on to Tarbach. Tarbach just battling with Hedges to try and win it back. But that's a lovely challenge from Danny Hollins there. He got a massive round of applause for that, and definitely deserved.
Yeah, he deserved that. What a challenge. Immaculate if he got that in any way wrong.
Well, it could have gone very wrong, but in this case, it went very right. But it is Gosport just holding possession now. It's only been 12 minutes played here at the AI Stadium, as it's Gosport nil Salisbury nil. Stewart passing it forward to Williams. Williams putting his head up, and he might find Kavanagh here. It might be a ball that might be Kavanagh, but Kavanagh's done really well to keep it in just by that corner flag. Kavanagh looking for his options, but it looks as though he's going to have to go alone. Never mind, he's picked out Tarbach into Rafa. Jake Cope once again by that corner flag, and Kavanagh can whip in a ball. It's a heavy touch from Rafa.
I think Dan Wooden was trying to attempt an overhead kick there,
but it was audacious from the veteran there, wasn't it?
Kind of fell behind him a little bit, but that's better from Gosport. They're starting to grow into the game a lot more now. They're getting a lot more confident going forward. They're starting to cause Salisbury some headaches now.
Whilst Joe Morrison lifting the ball forward, either trying to find... I think he was trying to find Campbell there, but just losing it. And instead, Dorr hold it. Dorr lifting the ball forward. That's going to be Toby Stewart once again calmly coming out to collect it, beating Perez to the ball. Toby looking good in the early minutes so far. Had a lot of high praise. I'm not sure if you watched the interview I did with Colby Bishop and the goalkeeping coach at Portsmouth.
I'm going to catch up with it. It's been quite a busy week, if I'm honest. But yeah, I'd like to see it.
But he's getting a lot of high praise, potentially a future Pompey goalkeeper, and looks so stable in this league. And looking at the Salisbury goalkeeper as well, it's another young goalkeeper, and it's just showing how good non-league is at making these young players now.
It's a good learning ground for these young players that have got a future, maybe potentially in the pro game. And there is such a good standard in this division. You know, you've got some big teams, good players, and excellent matches. Why not?
Well, as we do say that, it's Rafa brought down to the floor by 16 there. I don't really think much was in it, but Rafa didn't seem too happy.
Yeah, not a lot in that for me. I don't think. Possibly, no disrespect to Rafa, made slightly a bit of a meal of it. But anyway, play goes on.
Well, as you do say that, it's Dora on the ball, passing it back to Simpson. Simpson just progressing past the halfway line. Still looking for options, but he can't find anyone at the moment. Now it's out wide. Passed forward into Hedges. Hedges back to Door. Door delivers the ball in,
Oh,
and I think that might have just caught Toby Stewart off guard there. Had to make a save, and for a second I thought that was going to beat him.
had to be alert there, didn't he?
Really did.
Sort of a cross shot, and yeah, he was caught sort of almost flat-footed there, but he recovered well just to push it away from danger, but at the expense of a corner.
Well, will be a corner for Salisbury. By the looks of it, it's going to be. Is that Penny taking the corner?
Josh Hedges.
Oh, Hedges taking it.
Although there is another lad there with him.
I think there's two players. Oh, and it is going to be that short corner taken.
Very short corner, in fact.
Ball whipped in, but it's headed away by Corey Jordan.
Yeah, that's straight off the Salisbury training ground for me, but didn't come to much, luckily for Gosport.
And Bradley Tarbart just trying to win back possession there, but it's passed back from 16. Now Lee looking for options, and I think they're just showing how good Salisbury are. Just I'm not sure if that was meant to be a shot or a cross. Looked to me as more as a cross, but
yeah,
still.
it's hard to call from because we're on the other side of it. But yeah, there was a degree of intent in there, James. But either way, it nearly did its job.
Yeah, exactly that, and it is still Salisbury on the attack by the looks of it. Door passing it back to. Oh no, it's Door on the ball now, trying to pass it out wide. But Salisbury just can't keep hold of it, and it will be a throw in down by the touchline. Kavanagh passing it back to Kavanagh.
Yeah,
Now Jordan.
I think I'm just picking up on a comment that Paul in the press box just made. I think there is a bit of a breeze out there. You can't really see it from up here, but there's a bit of a stiff breeze out there, and that's starting to affect the game and the way it's played. And that's actually a fair point.
Well, yeah, but it's a windy day today in Gosport, and it'll be interesting to see how that actually has a shape on the game. But as Kavanagh on the attack, just approaching the box, the right hand channel, and he does deliver a cross, but it's calmly collected by Lee in goal.
Yeah, slight deflection off the defender's foot that took the sting out the delivery there, made it a little bit easier for Harrison Lee in goal, but it sets Salisbury off on another attack. Here they go again.
Well, it's going to be Lee. They're going to have to start right from the back, quite literally. Pat and Joe just telling the team to get back into formation, trying to get them to move forward, I would imagine. Haven't had too many chances in the early couple minutes.
Not been many chances, full stop, really. I think this is going to be a long game, and I don't mean that in terms it's going to feel like a long game. I think it's going to be he who is the most patient.
Yeah.
And then breaks the other side down and takes the chance when it comes. That's what I mean by playing the long game, and I think that's what you're going to have here.
Well, it's going to be Robertson taking a throw in. I think he might have just exchanged words with a couple of the Gosport fans there. But it's Salisbury on the attack, just approaching this Gosport box, around 15 yards out from goal. No Coppin with a deep ball in. And it's well actually passed in by Door. But just they couldn't do anything with it that time. But another ball's being delivered into the box. This one beats the run of Penny, and it will be a goal kick from Toby Stewart.
Yeah, that was a good idea from Salisbury. I can see what they're trying to do, just try and knock the ball around the 18 to 20 yard areas, just trying to stretch Gosport. But when the final ball, when it came, was just overhit too long, but it was a good idea.
Well, it's still 0-0 here at the AEI Stadium. It's Gosport 0, Salisbury 0, and it will be a goal kick from Toby Stewart. A lot of Salisbury players actually in this Gosport half. But it's going to be Stewart who that's lovely passing to Rafa Ramos. And he's passed it out wide to Kavanagh. Kavanagh hoping to find Tarbut, but it's a very heavy hit ball, and it's calmly once again collected by Lee.
Yeah, I'm certain now more than ever before that Gosport have opted for a Route 1 approach in this first half.
Looks as though we're going for this cross rather than the tiki-taka normal play we see.
Yeah, they're being a lot more direct this afternoon, so they've obviously identified that's the way to go. So far, not for me, but as I said, it's the long game. He who waits.
Well, it's currently passed out wide once again to Smith. Smith striding forward, trying to find Coppin, but it's intercepted by Rory Williams. Williams initially trying to find Campbell, but it's gone out for a throw-in just by the Harry Mitson stand. And I think it will be Rory Williams taking the throw-in, but it did look as though it was going to be Campbell taking the throw-in there. So I wonder if Rory Williams just wants to take it long. You can see Danny Hollins there just telling Joe Morrison to move back. Couple players making runs, Jake Cope being one of them, but that's a really poor throw in the end. Luckily, it's an even worse pass back.
Yeah, just a bit of a slow period in the game. It's sort of the pace has dropped out of it a little bit, but Salisbury are going to look to try and profit from this situation. A throw 2/3 of the way down the pitch on the right hand side. Let's see where it goes.
Well, it's going to be Smith taking the throw in, and it's going to find Noah Coppin. Can Rory Williams win it back for Gosport?
Throw.
Thrown, sorry. And it will be Simpson taking the throw in. Yeah,
Right on the
Simpson
corner
taking the throw
flag,
in.
though.
Literally.
Just for a second there, I had to be guided by the assistant referee in the way he actually awarded the decision there to differentiate one from the other.
Wow, it's a very deep throw. They could go for that long throw, but it looks as though they're going to have to take it short. And Simpson still keeping hold of the ball after the 1-2. And it will be another throw in a similar position.
Didn't see what happened there, though. There's a Salisbury player down. But what I will say, though, James, is this is a tactically fascinating game. The way both teams are approaching this, how they've set their stalls out, how they're playing the game. Fascinating stuff.
Well, a deep ball has been whipped into the back post by Simpson there. Gosport fans just trying to hit it back forward to Toby Stewart. But yeah, not a great chance for Salisbury in the end. And Gosport, they'll be happy with that and hoping for a couple more Salisbury chances like that. That's going to be another goal kick from Salisbury. No, Gosport, sorry. Passing it forward to Rory Williams.
I'm not entirely sure why he's opted for a 5-yard
Yeah.
goal kick, but they've got away with it there, Gosport. But
Whilst Campbell lifting one forward into Rafa. Can Rafa get on the end of it? He does do that well. Initially losing it to Leggett.
yeah, 21.
And this time it will be Campbell taking the throne, and he does pass it forward to Rafa, but he does lose it to Simpson. Rafa winning it back instantly. Now moving down this left-hand channel. And yeah, it will be a corner ball.
Yeah, it is this time. So let's see what Gosport can do with it.
See, this is interesting as well. Kavanagh will be taking the corner this time, but it was Campbell taking it last time. So I wonder if they've had a couple words with the management
Very
team.
likely, because that if you think back to Gosport's first attempt from the corner flag, it wasn't the best. So this is Kavanagh's speciality: set pieces. A whipped delivery into the danger area is what's needed.
Well, hopefully we'll get just that actually from Kavanagh. He's done so many great corners in the past. It's the second corner of the game so far. Well, Gosport's corner at least.
There it is.
As he hoofs one forward. Oh, you could see it lining up to the run of Campbell there, but a Salisbury body did have to get in the way of it.
Yeah, but immediately there, you're asking questions of them. Decent delivery, whipped in swing corner, asking questions of them. That's what you need to do.
Whilst passed forward once again by Jordan was hoping to get on the end of it. Whilst a Campbell cross lifted in, and it was just a clash of heads there between Rafa and Lee in goal. A lot of the Gosport fans really aren't happy, but it's nothing malicious, but looked as though it was going to hurt both players. Rafa now up, Lee still on the floor.
Right, referee's given a free kick to Salisbury for a foul, but for me that was just a collision.
It was
just a mid-air collision, nothing more to it than that. So, okay, referee's made up his mind, we have to respect it, but I think that was just a little bit on the dubious side for mine.
Well, I could just see here, I was doing a bit of lip reading with Harry Kavanagh. I don't think he was very happy whatsoever with that foul. And like many Gosport fans in the stadium, none of them actually seemed very happy. But you do have to feel a bit for the keeper. It's a challenge that would hurt, especially being a young keeper as well. One you have to get used to if he moves up the pyramid. Probably if we had VAR today, Rafa would have got a red card somehow.
No, I don't know. I just think it was a collision. And that's that. And the referee's ruled it was a foul. But when you've got a situation like that, you are going to have goalkeeper trying to claim the ball. You're going to have striker trying to score the goal. So it's inevitable sometimes you're going to have mid-air collisions. I think player safety has to be the first consideration, whether it's a foul, which it wasn't. But yeah, I hope the lad's all right. He seems as though he's fine, but it was just unfortunate.
Well, there's so many protocols in this day and age involving head injuries. They'll be checking for concussions and everything involving that. So we do hope the young keeper's all right. He's got up all right. He looks it low right and everything. So hopefully play can continue fairly soon.
What it's done is it's allowed the teams to have a breather. You've got Brian Dutton, the Salisbury manager there, having his whole team for a bit of a debrief. Gosport choosing not to come to their bench. They're out there sort of debriefing themselves, almost out in the middle. But one thing I will say is that medical care at non-league level has got
It's
so
brilliant.
much better. down the years since I've been involved in the game. It's a professional standard of care now for the players out on the pitch. And the Gospel Borough physio has just gone out to help out if she can. So is everything okay with the young goalkeeper out there?
Well, I can't remember the exact team now, but we saw it not so long ago. It was Harry Medway that went down. Still not, well, he's not going to be back for the rest of the season, but it was both sets of physios that ended up helping him. And we see it a lot in this league. It's a very caring league, and we just want to see what's best for the players in the end.
Well, of course you do, because for some of the players in this division, it's their livelihoods. The wages are such that it's their livelihoods. So if they don't play, they don't earn, and people sometimes forget the fact. Especially when you go up into the next division up, the Conference South, the National South. You've got full time clubs up there, and so an injury can potentially affect a player's earnings.
Well, definitely, especially him being an Exeter player. He's going to hope to return to Exeter at the end of the season. So we hope all the best for the young keeper. But as I do
He's up.
say that,
He's
well,
on.
he's up and play will resume. But I'll still run you through some of the results. It's Bracknell 0, Dorchester 2, Didcot 0, Beaconsfield 0. Still 0-0 here at the AI Stadium. It's Hazelmead 0, AFC Totten 0, Hendon 0, Hungerford 1. The Plymouth Parkway Merthyr game has been postponed. Poole 0, Basingstoke 0, Shirley 0, Chesham 0, and Swindon Supermarine 0, Harrowborough 1, Walton and Hersham 0, and Tiverton 0. And they are all the results currently in the Southern Premier League. So a couple of big results in the league.
No, keeper's down again, James. I think this might be
Yeah,
his lot. He's just sat down, no players around him at all. I think, yeah, I think you're going to. You would have to assume this is the end of Harrison Lee's afternoon, and already the Salisbury substitute keeper is getting prepared.
well, I was going to say that is the one lucky bit for Salisbury. They do have a substitute keeper on the bench. Gosport actually don't. So if that happened to Toby Stewart, we'd be stuffed today.
Yeah, well, don't put the commentator's curse on it, please. But certainly, substitution is coming, so I'm going to have to announce that imminently.
Well, we saw it with Brett Poe a couple of years ago. He went in goal and actually saved a penalty. I've seen him on Twitter. He likes to brag about it. But to be fair, you can't blame him. It was a lovely save in the end from the veteran Gosport player. And Harry Lee there just getting a warm round of applause from Gosport fans, Salisbury fans, everyone in attendance here. And it seems you just don't want to see for such a young keeper with such high expectations. But he will be coming off, making his way for Alexander Rutter, the substitute Salisbury goalkeeper. Actually, it was their first choice goalkeeper before Lee did join. So at least he's got a lot of experience. Played 23 times already this campaign, Rutter.
Substitution coming on number 13, Alex Rutter, to replace number 1, Harrison Lee.
Well, I suppose the only positive for Salisbury is, in a weird way, it's a bit more of an experience change. Because Rutter, he was the first choice keeper before Lee actually joined a couple of weeks ago.
In fairness, it's a manager's first choice dilemma, because if you've got two keepers that are pushing each other for that number 1 shirt, then you're laughing, really. Gosport, we don't have a second choice as such. So, yeah, it's a nice dilemma for Brian Dutton to have.
Well, it's Gosport on the attack. Hopefully, they're going to put a bit of threat on the new keeper already. It's Kavanagh down this right hand channel, facing pressure from Salisbury players. But it's Tarbuck this time who delivers across, finding the head of Campbell, and it is an initial threat, but still not properly dealt with. And in the end, it's pretty good from Rutter as he comes out to collect the ball.
Yeah, very calm. That's his first action. Looking straight in there and saving his team a goal.
Well, exactly that. And it's Salisbury. They might be able to conjure an attack now. It's John Batty passing it to Leggett. Leggett back to John Batty. Salisbury just pushing forward now, the All Whites.
You recall Brett Pope saving penalties? Well, I was actually there that afternoon.
Really? Wow.
Whitehawk 4, Gosport Borough 4 in Brighton in the National South, 2016. 4-all. Brett Pope comes on at 4-2 down because, well, actually, he took over the gloves after Lewis Watch got injured. Yeah, saved a penalty. Laughing about it to this day.
Well, to be fair, it was a good save. I've seen it a couple of times on Twitter.
And he was grinning from ear to ear for weeks afterwards.
Oh, it's Salisbury on the attack. It was Simpson with a cross there, and it was had to be dealt with by Williams there. And it will be a Salisbury corner.
He had to deal with it, because if that had gone through, that was certainly 1-0.
Well, he just stuck a foot out there, just happened to boot it out for a corner.
Safety first.
But we'll be deal with the corner. John Batty just heading towards that centre circle inside the box. So it'd be interesting to see if he does anything involved in this corner. But it's going to be door with a corner. And it's an in swinger. Oh, and once again, it's been punched away by Toby
No,
Stewart.
it wasn't. It was Dan
Oh,
Wooden on his own goal line. Dan
it was
Wooden.
on the goal line
Dan
as well.
Wooden on his own
Well,
goal line. Because that was an in swing and that was going in. But
well,
Wooden was right on the line.
it's one of those cross shots almost, one of those hybrid ones that causes
High
the
quality
problems all
corner,
the
that
time.
high quality corner from Salisbury. Here's another one.
Oh, this time it was
Oh.
a save from Toby Stewart. Can Gosport clear it? No, they can't. Maybe Rafa can, or maybe they can start their own attack. As Rafa finds a through ball into Danny Hollands. Might be Tarbuck who having to charge down. But it's well dealt with in the end by Salisbury, who passed it back to the goalkeeper and Rutter. Tarbuck still applying the heavy pressure, but just not able to get the charge down.
Salisbury were asking all the right questions there, weren't they? That's the closest anyone's come to a goal all afternoon. Half an hour, and that was close.
Well, as you say, it was Dan Wooden who had to clear it off the line in the end. Toby Stewart who pushed it out. He's back at the other end now. Just a bit of a moment to worry for the Gosport fans there.
I should say, yeah. I mean, I thought that was 1-0. But it all stemmed from a high quality set piece from Salisbury, and that is what can win you matches.
Well, yeah. And it's Jordan. Yeah, like I said, I thought it was going to go in. We saw a chance not about 20 minutes ago, I want to say. It was the same player with a cross shot. Maybe that's the way he likes to have his shots, just to keep players off guard. But it's Gosport just trying to win the ball off of Robinson, but Robinson wins the battle. But Williams just once again intercepting the ball, passing it forward to Jordan. Now out wide to Kavanagh, but still unable to get past the halfway line into the Salisbury half. It's back to Joe Morrison.
Yeah, Salisbury have got Gosport boxed in at the moment, but again, like I said, play the long game, play the patient game. Just keep your composure, keep possession, nothing silly, and your time will come. Gosport just need to pick their chance to break out of this.
But it was Penny there just applying the most heavy pressure. Williams, he did really well to actually keep it out of Salisbury possession, but it will be a corner once again by that Harry Mitson stand, just on the other side of the commentary box here at Gosport. Still 0-0 here at the AI Stadium, despite Salisbury having some really deadly chances. And it's Salisbury just passing it out back from the back.
Yeah, it's again Salisbury, just calm and composed football, just asking the questions. Got about, I'd say we've got about 13 minutes and a half left. Ideally, if Gosport can complete the first half shutout, that will give them a lot of confidence for the second half. But here they go again. Look, Salisbury bring the ball and shot on target.
Wow.
Yeah, it was, and that was Ryan Penny, the 17.
It was straight down the throat of Toby Stewart, though. In the end, a pretty easy save, luckily.
Yeah, it was, but I'll tell you what, you've just got to be very, very wary of the threat that our visitors are posing right now.
So, would you be happy if Gosport went into the second half being 0-0? I'd say that's been a fair reflection so far, probably, of the game.
It's preferable to being 1-0 down.
Well, would you?
Well, wouldn't you?
Well, to be fair, the two chances, yeah.
Purely on the fact.
Oh, but Rafa, he nearly makes a mistake from Rutter. Oh, that was very close. It was Rafa Ramos there, just applying the most heavy pressure towards the goalkeeper in Rutter, nearly causing that mistake. And to be fair, it was nearly 1-0 to us there.
Yeah, a little bit of Greco-Roman going on down there between Corey Jordan and the 15 Wayne Robinson. But yeah, I mean, look, it's not as silly a comment as it sounds. Gosport haven't really looked like scoring as such, whereas Salisbury have. So on the weight of chances, Salisbury would be the most likely to take the lead, right? So if they do that, then Gosport got work 3 times as hard to find a foothold in this game. Get to half time at 0-0. Managers get to bring them in, have a sit down, have a sort out. How can we change the tactics? How can we have 15 minutes just to look at things calmly and you're still in the game?
Well, yeah, I think it's a game really where if they do take the lead, I think it would be hard to come back from, judging by their defenders and their defence so far.
I actually have a hunch that 1 goal might win it either way today.
It will be a tight game. I think that's definitely.
Yeah.
But as I do say that, it's no copping finding Hedges there. Hedges just outside of the box. Gosport still unable to collect the ball, but it's well won back by Danny Hollins there. It was just Danny Hollins and Jake Cope, the two midfielders, coming together there to win back the ball. And Gosport actually riding forward. It was really well done by Dan Wooden there, who had to turn and pass it back to Bradley Tarbuck. But it's Gosport moving forward menacingly before eventually Bradley Tarbuck just trying to find a through ball into Kavanagh, but Kavanagh just telling the winger off there for a poor pass.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest. He'll be disappointed with that. But I'll tell you what, more Greco-Roman going on out in the centre circle there. But Dan Wooden kept his feet, wanted to keep his feet. Would have been easier to have gone down and got the foul there, but that didn't even enter his mind.
Well, Gosport, they're going to have to restart that attack all over again as it's Toby Stewart from his own box, but actually just outside of it. But he's going to look for that hoofball once again, hoping to find Harry Kavanagh and carry Harry Kavanagh, trying to head it down to Bradley Tarbuck. Now hoofed forward from Corey Jordan. Kavanagh getting the head on it once again. And the ball is just going to escape all the dugouts and they're going to get that replacement ball. But the referee doesn't want play to continue straight away. Instead, Kavanagh's going to have to throw it all the way back to Joe Morrison. Just inside the Gosport half, around 15 metres from that halfway line. Williams searching for that forward pass. I think that's quite a deep ball. And Williams, it's like a boomerang. It just came back to him. Now it's Joe Morrison. Now in that central circle. Morrison lifting a lovely ball into Campbell. Campbell does head it forward, but it's Rutter who has to come out to collect it there. Looked as though Rafa might have been able to get on the end of it, but cool keeping from the substitute there.
Yeah, 10 minutes to play, 0-0 still here. But yeah, it's one for the tactical purists, this game, isn't it? Very tight, taut, tactical battle.
Well, definitely that.
And as such, it's fascinating. It really is. And I love it.
Well, to be fair, I think they've got quite a new manager, don't they? Well, not a new manager. Came in this season, I believe.
Brian Dutton, yes, ex-Havant Waterlooville player who went into management. So that's a foul there.
Oh, I was going to say, that's a new signing.
That's a big challenge on Christian Campbell there. And that might even be a booking miss, I think.
Well, Campbell, he's still not gotten up there, just rolling around on the floor.
It was a heavy challenge.
It was.
I'm not sure whether it's worthy of a booking or not, but it is according to the referee. So that's Aaron Simpson.
Well, I was going to say, Simpson who gets a yellow there. The physio just awaiting the orders to come on. It looks as though she's going to be giving those orders as Bennett. He still hasn't come up yet.
Again, James, I think it was mistimed rather than malicious. It was just a little clumsy. But there you go. No, Olivia, the Gosport physio is not needed this time. She's gone back into the dugout.
Instead, Gosport will be given a free kick. It's going to be Rory Williams, the skipper, taking it around 15 yards away from the halfway line, still in the Gosport half. Jake Cope runs towards the free kick and he does choose that short option. Gosport seem to be taking a lot of short free kicks this half, but it's going to be passed all the way back to Joe Morrison.
I think it's just a possession-based thing, isn't it? Now we have a long ball going up, but to no effect.
Oh, Salisbury immediately win it back.
That's why.
It's going to be Robinson hoping to get on the end of it. It's going to go right towards that corner flag. Robinson just keeping the ball in play there. Lifting the ball forward into the box, but it's headed away by Joe Morrison, having a brilliant game so far and has been brilliant since joining. But Campbell, now it's his time to hoof the ball away.
Yeah, threatening cross there towards Noah Coppin. I think Morrison had to deal with it. If he hadn't, then that might have even been a free header for Coppin there in a good position. So, again, good work from Joe. And I agree, he's been outstanding ever since he signed at Christmas.
Well, it was a throw-in and it was delivered to Noah Coppin. He did try and deliver a ball into the cross, trying to find Robertson, but Gosport, they won it back. Now they are on their counter-attack. It's Rafa passing it out wide to Tarbuck. Can Tarbuck get on the end of it? He does win it there, but it's just a tango of legs between him and number 16.
Richard McIntyre. Now, it was a bit of a heavy one, but yellow card immediately in the referee's hand. So I think McIntyre will be going in the book. But again, no intent in the foul there. That was just clumsy.
Yeah, it was.
It's not been that kind of game at all.
No.
It's just the 3 bookings that have been given have all been for mistimed heavy challenges.
Well, it's Tarbuck down now, and he is receiving physio. Hopefully he's a player that won't actually be injured. He's been one of our star players, in my opinion, this season. Been excellent this season, and been a big player for Gosport last 2 seasons
Experienced player, and he's up, he's fine. Although he'll be sore for a few minutes, but.
Well, it was Rory Williams there. He's just taken the ball and he said, I want this free kick. It's around 10 yards away from the box, just towards the right. Pretty much. Yeah, it is. It's going to be an in-swinging corner, I reckon, trying to pick out the likes of Corey Jordan, Rafa. Let's see what they can do here.
Watch the runners then. He's going to push that in towards the penalty area, I reckon. Sorry, the penalty spot.
Well, there's literally one player in the wall, which is Penny. Williams delivering the free kick, trying to find Rafa Ramos, but it's trickled all the way back to Hollands, and the referee has blown up for offside. And in the end, Gosport can't make anything of it, and it will be a Salisbury free kick in reaction. Still Gosport nil, Salisbury nil. It's been 40 minutes played here of normal time, just the 5 minutes left to play, but will be Rutter taking the free kick. Pat and Joe still telling these men to move forward. And it's actually quite a deep free kick in the end, beating the likes of Bradley Tarbuck to the ball. And Salisbury there just trying to conjure up an attack. It was a ball delivered through to Hedges, but Hedges just couldn't get on the end of it and get that final mark, as it will be Toby Stewart now with a goal kick. Stewart once again taking that short corner inside the box, passing it forward to Joe Morrison. Morrison into Corey Jordan. Corey Jordan passing it forward to Jake Cope. Gosport still looking menacing on the run, but they have lost it once again to Hedges. And it's been the same story this half. This time it's going to be Robinson in the left-hand channel, just by the corner flag, striding forward, aiming towards that box. Now he delivers across, and I believe it might have just found the roof of the goal there, and it looked as though it was dipping towards that top corner, just narrowly missing. I think it needed a bit more dip there to go in the back of the net, but once again, it's one of those crosses that ended up being a good shot. And a free kick has been taken, as it's Rafa Ramos on the ball. Hollins into Jordan, lifting one forwards into Dan Wooden. But Dan Wooden just can't jump high enough, but Cope still gets on the end of it. Dan Wooden on the edge of the Salisbury box, passing it out wide to Campbell. Campbell's time to deliver across, but loses the ball. But will still be a Gosport throw-in. This one passed back to Rory Williams. Williams exchanging the ball diagonally into Corey Jordan. Jordan trying to match his cross to the run of Dan Wooden, but unable to do it as Dutchy Hollins delivers another deep ball in from the header. Tarbuck passing it back to Corey Jordan. Gosport 25 yards out from goal in this right-hand channel. Back to Jordan. Pat and Joe telling their men to move forwards now. It's Rory Williams. Could he deliver another one of his famous crosses? Instead goes for the low-driven pass into Rafa Ramos. Ramos passes it back to Cope. Back to Hollins. Hollins playing another diagonal ball across to Kavanagh. Kavanagh just in the right-hand side of the pitch. Gosport just playing it round. And that's a lovely ball. That might find the feet of Corey Jordan, but it's well cleared in the end by Robertson there. Good passing there by Gosport.
Good little spell from Borough there, yes, absolutely, with 3 minutes to the break. I think they were putting Salisbury under some sustained pressure. And, there's a slip there, handball maybe, but play on, says the referee.
Well, it's Kavanagh on the edge of the box. He's got Tarbuck on the overlap. He does go for that option, and it's back to Kavanagh. Ball lifted in, but Leggett finds it as he heads it forward. Jordan, out wide to Kavanagh. It's a 1-2 between the two defenders. Jordan, surrounded by Salisbury bodies, as well as Kavanagh, but they both do well to combine. And I think Jordan, he's going to struggle to keep it in play there, but a foul has been given.
Yeah, McIntyre drew the foul there, and that's just relieved the pressure on his defence. And about 90 seconds to the end of normal time at the end of the first half. And as 0-0 goes, this has been fascinating to watch. It really has. It's not been a dull game. And both teams have just been probing, asking the questions. There have been chances, not too many, but enough.
I think that's 4 we got coming up.
And I think we're 4 minutes is being indicated.
Oh, 4 minutes.
So let's see. Yeah, I'm sure that's what the assistant referee just signalled.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, 4 it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee's indicated there will be a minimum of.
Well, as Jeremy just said there will be 4 minutes added on. Maybe enough time to see one more chance, or maybe even one more goal, which I would like to see. But so far, I wouldn't say there's been too many clinical chances. Probably Salisbury have had the better ones so far. Both coming from Dore, who's whipped two lovely balls in. Looked as though they were crosses, but both edging towards that top corner. Even Robertson, he delivered quite a deep one a few moments ago, heading towards that top corner, but in the end just landing on the roof of the goal.
Yeah, Salisbury have had the better of it. There's no doubt about it. I'd say they've had 60-40 of the possession of the chances. And I think Gosport would be the happier of the two getting in at 0-0, to be fair, from that point of view. But we shall see. We're about to go into the four added minutes. Let's see what it brings.
Well, this time it's Dore moving forward, striding forward, passing it out wide to John Batty, 30 yards out from goal. But it looks as though it was quite well done by Christian Campbell there, who won it back for the Yellow Borough. And it will be Williams. He's just going to take his time taking the throne there, wasting these precious seconds. And I think a lot of the Gospel players, they will be happy to go into the second half being 0-0. Williams jumping and taking the throw in. An interesting technique there from the throw-in taker. But Salisbury just trying to head it forward back into the danger zone before Campbell can eventually clear it once again. Campbell once again having this battle with Dore, but Dore wins it. Dore still running forward, and he does do well enough to win a throw-in. I believe that's going to be... Oh no, he's going to let Dore take the throw. He's got Perez arriving to him. Perez in the most space, but I'm not sure why he went for that option, passing it forward to Hedges. Had Williams and Tarbuck around him there when, like I said, Perez was free, but he did go for that option nonetheless. And as a result, it will be a Gosport throw now.
Well, that's about the first 90 seconds of the added time, which I would say primarily has come from the goalkeeping situation. Salisbury changing the goalkeeper due to injury. I think that accounts for much of it.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. We've seen a couple free kicks, but like I said, not too many. And one of their players, they were down injured for a while. Not the goalkeeper, there was another one as well. I've forgotten who it was now. Oh, but Salisbury, they have won back the ball. There's no Coppin passing it forward to Robertson. And Robertson is straight down the throat of Toby Stewart there, who has to get down low, make the save there. And it's a good bit of keeping from Toby Stewart there.
Well done, Toby. Unfortunately, that will go down as a mistake from Corey Jordan. Lost his footing, went down and allowed Robinson a clear run at goal.
Well, I thought Robertson was going to go for the chip there, maybe chip it, but maybe Toby had to make up his mind there, go for the low-driven shot. And in the end, it paid off for Toby as he pulled off a lovely save there and an important save. So just to make it 0-0 going into the second half. I can't imagine there's too many minutes left of additional time anyway.
90 seconds left of the 4 minutes. So we're about halfway through. There won't be too many more chances in this first half, I don't think, but we shall see.
Well, it's a game of headers at the moment, as it was Joe Morrison heading it forward to Tarbuck, and this time it's going to be Tarbuck heading it forward to Dan Wooden.
I'll tell you what, James, if that pass had gone through and come off the wrapper, that could have been a golden chance.
Well, it looked as though it was going to come off at one point, but it is now Gosport. They're finding another route of their attack. Kavanagh laying the ball off to Tarbuck. Tarbuck with a deep ball in, and it's pushed away by Rutter there. Campbell just unable to get on the end of it, and once again it's a tangle of legs, but this time the referee doesn't blow up. Hollins with the ball in, but it's headed out by Salisbury.
Yeah, referee not interested there, but Gosport are finishing this half with a bang. They really are pushing, and despite the fact they've done the lion's share of the defending this half, they are finishing on a high here.
Well, that indeed. Let's just hope neither team... Well, I wouldn't mind if Gosport could get a goal, but I just don't want to see Salisbury get one in.
Well,
and as I do say that, it's Kavanagh on the edge of the box trying to deliver a low-driven cross into Rafa, but just unable to meet the run of the attacker there. Now Joe Morrison is needed, and that's a lovely interception, just making sure Noah Copping just can't get on the end of it. This time it's going to be Corey Jordan striding forward.
Got about 10 seconds.
And a ball has been delivered back into Corey Jordan, just on the edge of the Salisbury box. Jordan. Oh, and this is... I think that was a bicycle kick there.
Yeah, it was,
wow.
It was Chris Campbell. Just mistimed it, didn't quite make contact, and that'll go for the goal kick. And that's half time.
Well, it is 0-0 here at the AI Stadium. It's Gosport 0, Salisbury 0. And as I say that, I will run you through some of the results. But I would have to admit, probably the best chances of the game have come from Salisbury so far. Door with some lovely outswinging crosses, which nearly found the top corner. And just a moment ago, Toby Stewart was needed in action, as he did have to pull off a lovely save from Robinson. Robinson just going for the low-driven shot, but Toby Stewart, he collected it well, and in the end, it was a lovely save to make sure it's 0-0 going into the second half. And I will run you through some of the results in the Southern Premier League. It's Brack 0-0, Dorchester 2, Didcot 0, Beaconsfield 0, 0-0 here at the AI Stadium. Hazelmead 0, AFC Tottenham 0, Hendon 1, Hungerford 1, Plymouth Parkway versus Perth. That game has been postponed. Poole 0, Basingstoke 1, Sholin 0, Cheshire 1, Swindon 1, Harrow 1, Walton and Hersham 0, Tiverton 0, and Winchester 0, Hanwell 1. They're all the results in the Southern Premier League, and we will be back in the second half. But it's Gosport 0, Salisbury 0. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the second half of Gosport versus Salisbury here on Gosport Radio. Both sides are just making their way out of the tunnel now. The Gosport team just getting a warm round of the applause. I'll run you through both sets of teams now, starting with Salisbury. So, no longer have Harrison Lee in goal. He was forced into making an early substitute after having a head injury with Rafa Ramos. So Harrison Lee, he's no longer starting, and instead it's Alexander Rutter in goal. 2, Aaron Simpson. 16, Richard McIntyre. 4, Thomas Leggett. 5, Sadio John Batty. 19, Jaden Perez. 20, Owen Dorr. 17, Ryan Perry. 11, Owen Coppin. 14, Joshua Hedges. And 15, Wayne Robertson. Well, Perez, he's no longer going to be here in the second half. He's been taken off. And I'll run you through the Gosport team now. So starting in goal, it's number 1, Toby Stewart. 2, Harry Kavanagh. 3, Rory Williams. 4, Corey Jordan. 5, Joe Morrison. 14, Jake Cope. 7, Bradley Tarbuck. 15, Christian Campbell, the new signing. 9, Dan Wooden. 18, Rafa Ramos. And 19, Danny Hollins. Also on your bench tonight is 11, Alfie Stanley. 20, Pedro Borges. 10, Antonio Diaz. 16, Zach Sharp. And 12, Samuel Hookey. And now it's going to be Gosport shooting from my right to left and Salisbury vice versa. And the game's just kicked off here. And Jeremy, Salisbury have just made an early substitution. Is this a tactical one?
Yeah, absolutely right it is. Because Brian Dutton's a very methodical manager, and that will be tactically motivated,
Well,
without a doubt. They've tweaked it, so we'll just have to see in the next few minutes how that plays out.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how he actually infects the game now. Whether this will see a change of tactics, whether they go more attacking, more wingy. Because the player who went off Perez, I thought he was more of a right wing, so I can't imagine it would be a like for like replacement. Because I thought he was having quite a good game up until then.
Yeah, but obviously a manager needs to do what he needs to do. He's obviously decided. I think it's a potential formation change, actually. I'm just sort of seeing how Salisbury are lining up, and when they sort of take their shape again, James, we'll be able to see if it's a shift in the formation, which I think it most likely is.
Well, we'll probably be able to see that shape fairly soon, as it was a Salisbury throw-in, and they've already lost it actually. And I believe there could be a drum going on down the stands by there. And you alluded to it earlier. There's a lot of people in the AI Stadium today for this massive clash. It's probably the biggest game in the Southern League today. One of the biggest games in non-league, I would imagine, today, actually. And here you go. You can see the drums starting up. I wonder if that's for Gosport or for Salisbury.
I don't know, actually. I like the atmosphere, but
Well, the referee, he's just blown up quite early on, having a go at Leggett there. And it will be a Salisbury free kick.
a fantastic turnout. I mean, this is 1,000 minimum. I mean, the attendance I know will have in a minute, and I reckon I'll be shocked if it's less than 1,000.
Well, yeah, it looks as though it's going to be a good turnout today. And let's just hope it might be a record-breaking one. But
I don't think it will. I mean, the all-time league attendance here at this ground is 2,400-ish, and that was set in 2016 against Chelmsford City.
Yeah, Chelmsford a good side actually, aren't they? National League South, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. We were in that division then. It was Community Day where tickets were sold very, very cheaply, and they were sent to schools and youth clubs and businesses, and there was a lot of uptake. So yeah, we had over 2,000 in.
Well, it'd be good to see if we can get another one of those attendances. Maybe if we get into a playoff. But as I do say that, it's Gosport striding forward in numbers. The yellow wave coming forward, flooding this Salisbury half. But it's Rafa Ramos just losing the ball there, and instead it's going to be Robertson on the hold of the ball. Robertson going forward alone, actually. Probably that was the wrong choice as he loses the ball to Danny Hollins, but it's quickly won back by Salisbury. Dorr on the ball, passing it back to Smith. John Batty. And Leggett was just calling for the ball there in acres of space, but the player just didn't want the ball in the end, I suppose. And now it is Robertson just on the edge of the Gosport box. But he has lost it and it's been hoofed forward. Maybe it's something for Dan Wooden to chase down. He's already nearly forced Rutter into making an early mistake, but this time he won't be able to complete the charge down.
Cooper did well there, actually. Came out quickly and narrowed his options down. But yeah, this already seems to be a little bit more of an open second half. I know we've only been playing about 4 minutes, but it's a lot more stretched, isn't it?
Well, you mentioned the word stretched there, and it was actually quite fitting. Strafa, he was on the floor, just tripped over, had to stretch to keep hold of the ball. And as I do say that, he was marching through this left-hand channel, lifting the ball into Dan Wooden, but just narrowly missing him as it just went straight past him and ran through the goal deck. Just unlucky there, just not to find Dan Wooden, but it was a lovely cross there from Ramos.
It was, actually, and it's a pity it just
Well,
fizzed across.
It's Hollins who won the ball there, striding forward, dancing his way through multiple players. I don't think that was a penalty there. It looked to say more just slipped there,
The
but
fans got excited
yeah.
behind the goal, but for me, not a chance. He just lost his footing and went down.
Well, Williams just tried to lift the ball into Wooden there, but it's John Baddy who had to hit it away using his head. But Tarbuck quickly wins it back. Around 30 yards out from goal, and it's going to be Campbell taking the throw in.
Gosport having a good little spell here, aren't they, James?
They are.
This is good. They've come out
They've definitely started the second half better,
Yeah.
and we've actually now been nicknamed Second Half FC.
Wouldn't
Like,
surprise me,
I've
actually.
seen so many comments on it from Twitter and everything. But as I do say that, Gosport may be able to get a goal. But no, once again, it's Ramos. He tried to get on the end of Corey Jordan's cross there, but I think he just slipped towards the end. But it looked to say he was never going to be able to get on the end of that cross. Just looked a bit too far, hard hit in the end. But it's good. It's not been a bad start to this half.
No, Gosport have done really well. They've come out looking the brighter in this half so far, and they've been asking all the questions thus far. So we'll have to see what happens. Obviously, very, very early days in the context of the game. So we'll have to see how this plays out.
Well, it's the right back Leggett trying to find the run of number 2 Simpson, but it's cut out once again by Rory Williams, another player who I think is having a fantastic game. He's really caused a nuisance for the Salisbury attack, winning every ball, and looks a real solid defender.
Absolutely. But again, it boils down to the fact you've got two very, very good sides on in front of you here, and packed full of quality.
Well, we alluded to it in the first half, how both sides have some excellent players. One of them being John Batty, who's just picked out a lovely ball into Robertson. And Robertson just putting a low-driven pass, finding the run of Dorr. Dorr hits it. No, I don't think Dorr did hit it. It was a Gosport player who smacked it over the crossbar. Oh, Kavanagh had to clear it.
The thing is, he just launched himself at it. That could have
Well, it was a needed clearance, wasn't it? Let's just say.
Rush one could have ended up going anywhere, really. But yeah, there you go.
Well, we saw him score an absolute screamer against Dorchester. Wouldn't have been so good if he scored a screamer into the back of his own net, but luckily nothing came of it. But instead, it will be a Salisbury corner. And it's another short one. They seem to like their short corners here. But in the end, it's not worked properly. But still forward to Dor on the edge of the box, who goes for a shot. And I think it might have actually flew over some of the houses at the back of the stadium. Definitely flew over that bus.
Good effort. You can get it over the bus.
Yeah.
That's a good effort.
He must have been watching. I think he must have been watching a bit too much of that Six Nations going on at the moment.
Yeah, well, to be fair, but in fact, I can see a football on the end of the clubhouse roof.
Yeah, I think I can see that as well. Well, Gosport won't mind that, as it means they can start counter attack. And it was Rory Williams just trying to pick a cross into Rafa there, but it did need to be headed out by Leggett. But now it's Dutchy Hollins on the ball, passing it back to Rory Williams. Pat and Joe, I think they're just telling Corey Jordan to move up here. So maybe the defender could be. He looks as though Corey Jordan, he's kind of occupying a bit of a right back, centre back role today.
I've also noticed that Morrison's playing more like a sweeper.
Yeah.
As a sweeper, actually. If you look at the way they're lining up defensively, Gosport, that's how it looks to me. He drops back, always drops back, and he's the last line of defence.
Well, it's almost the role we saw when Charlie Vasmer was in the team. Joe Morrison's kind of occupying that role as opposed, and it looks as though with the new signings coming into the team now, we're seeing that formation come back. But as I was praising Joe Morrison just a moment ago, it looked as though he nearly just gave away a penalty, as it's Robinson complaining about it.
That could have been given, if I'm honest. Could have been. The referee was a little bit of a way behind play there. Could have been. Now, that was 50-50 in my opinion there, James. That could have been. I've seen them given.
Yeah,
I know it's a cliche, but I have seen those given. So Gosport, I think, can feel a little fortunate with that.
definitely. Well, we were just praising how good Morrison was there, but probably not one of his finest moments as a Gosport player.
He had to judge it. He was the last line of defence, and it was sort of 50-50 borderline there. But no, Salisbury just building from the back again while James is tweeting, and going out for a throw into Gosport actually on the far side by the Harry Mizzen stand, and taken quickly by Kavanagh, linking with Tarbuck. So just let me know when you're ready to come back, mate. But
Oh
I know
yeah.
you're tweeting, so it's fine. Gosport forced to build from the back once more. Rory Williams looking for space in front of him. Takes a few paces. That's a poor pass, though. He won't like that one little bit. And that allows Aaron Simpson to drive. But Gosport get the ball back here. And that's Campbell setting up Williams. Williams with a dinked pass over the top. Again, not the best. Back to you, mate.
Well, like you said there, it wasn't the best bit of play. It was good build up once again, but just trying to. They can't seem to do it in the final half. Well, final third, sorry.
Yeah, we're going to a bit of a scrappy phase of the game here. And but Gosport still, I think, are edging the second half.
Well, it was Rafa Ramos and acres of space there. It was Jake Cope who delivered the ball to Rafa, but probably just took a bit too long there with the ball not travelling as fast as he would have liked it, I would imagine. But it's Campbell now in this left hand channel, just by the dugouts, passing it back to Williams. Now Joey Morrison. Nearly gave away a penalty moments ago, but I'm sure he'll redeem himself moments later into this game.
You won't give it a second thought
Nah.
now. It's gone. Didn't happen. It's gone.
But it's Rory Williams who has to pass it more centralised into Jake Cope. Now to Tarbuck. Out wide to Kavanagh in the right hand channel. 20 yards out from goal. Kavanagh trying to dance his way past the Salisbury defenders, and he's doing very well as he manages to get a ball across, but just can't find a yellow body inside the Salisbury box. And instead, a ball is hit forward for Salisbury. I think it hit the back of Jake Cope's ankle there, and in the end, it was won back by Joe Morrison.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a scrappy phase of play here, really, and still 0-0, 10 minutes the second half gone in case you haven't just joined us. But let's see what Gosport can do this time. They need to clear their own lines, don't
Yeah. Well, I'm sure Toby Stewart, he looks so cool and calm under pressure, so I don't think he'll mind taking this a bit slow. He's not going to face any pressure from any of the Salisbury players, like Dan Wooden's been doing all game. He's been tormenting Rutter in goal. Oh, and that's something you don't want to see. Jake Cope just goes down there, and I believe it was Dorr just stepping on his ankle. And it's one of those challenges where 17, he can't do anything about it, sorry, Penny. But it's one that Jake Cope, he's going to have to walk off. And you can see Pat and Joe there just ordering a new signing, Alfie Stanley and Antonio Diaz, to come and warm up. But poor Jake Cope, it's something you don't really want to see, and just a challenge that does hurt players.
Yeah, he's okay though. He's on his feet. I think the rain's starting to come down out there, if I'm not mistaken. It's got very dark, and the floodlights have just come on.
That's going to be Rory Williams with the free kick. Might find the run of Joe Morrison, who heads it back. Offside. Oh, it's offside. It was a nice attack, though. It was Joe Morrison. He did get on the end of the free kick, passing it forward into Dan Wooden. He had an open net in front of him, but as Jeremy just said, the flag did go up, and yeah, offside.
Yeah, and end of that particular chance. But to be fair, though, Gosport, again, I'll say it again, about the better of the second half, all the 12 minutes of it that we've had.
So do you feel this is a game that could maybe be determined by substitutes? Could they have a large impact on the game?
Yes, and because Salisbury have only got one left, Gosport have got all three. And you would like to think that your impact players on that bench are Pedro Borges, Alfie Stanley, and Antonio Diaz. But we'll see.
Well, it was Hedges there trying to waver his way through the Gosport defence, but Gosport immediately on a counter-attack. It's Dan Wooden leading the way in this left-hand channel. And Dan Wooden delivers a lovely cross into Rafa Ramos. Ramos on the edge of the box goes for goal, but it's a really cool save in the end from Rutter, who has to get down low to his right to deflect the effort. And what a chance that was for Gosport.
What a fantastic snapshot from Ramos there. The keeper saw it very, very, very late, and his manager's just applauded his goalkeeper. What a shot, what a save. Really exciting little phase of play. And that's the best chance Gosport have had thus far.
Oh, it was a lovely little chance, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Rafa just unlucky not to get in the back of the net, forcing a good save from Rutter
It
there.
was a powerful
Yeah, it
shot.
was.
There was a oomph behind that. Definitely. And you tweeting again, are you?
Yeah.
No, that's fine. Look, I'll just fill in for you while you're doing it so you can concentrate. But Salisbury just playing the ball around their own back three at the moment. Not a lot happening out there. Just opting to go back to the goalkeeper, the substitute Rutter, who's just made that excellent save moments ago. Again, they're not in a rush, Salisbury. They're being patient, just playing the ball around their own back line. Not much going on for us to discuss at the moment. But in a minute, I reckon they're probably going to start driving forward and just trying to engineer the next chance. A dink past 30 yards down the centre, they can't sort of profit from it. And Gosport regained play with Cope. Cope looking for Wooden and Ramos, who are making two good runs forward. Sorry, that was Tarbuck. Wooden's about 10 yards behind it. But Salisbury in possession once more. Again, unhurried, precise passing. Back to you.
And it is John Batty, and yeah, I'm just still a bit shaken from that previous chance. But Gosport, they might be able to create another one of those chances, as this time it's Rory Williams. He's won back the ball, marching through this left-hand channel. This time he's going to deliver a ball into the box, but meeting no Gosport bodies. It was a bit similar to the first chance, but this time couldn't meet any Gosport players in the box.
Exciting run from Rory there, but the trouble is where he was so wide, the angle was difficult, and Salisbury shut him down very, very quickly, so he didn't have a lot of space and time in which to work.
Well, I suppose that was a chance where we could have done with a Jake Scrimshaw type of player, someone in the box who could have finished it there.
Yeah, he's obviously moved on to Poole Town. We wish him well, and is not. I'm not sure what's happened there, but perhaps an on-form Scrimshaw is a bit of an out-and-out poacher.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure we saw the best of him when he was here. If I'm
No,
honest.
I don't think we did. There was a couple chances where he could have probably worked better on his finishing, but he did give it the best. He gave it 100 every
no
game.
one's saying he didn't, but sometimes it just doesn't work out for you when you go to a club, and the only option remaining to you is to move on. And as I say, we wish him well, and we wish the other players who have moved on this week: Billy Basari, Lucius Vine.
Yeah, a lot of them actually, yeah.
A couple of them have gone.
Well, as we talked about in the first half, it's a bit of a different squad we're seeing today. A lot of the players are new signings, so it'd be interesting to see how they come along. One of them being Alfie Stanley, who's currently on the bench, maybe a player who could come in. But as I do say that, it's got spot on the attack. Tarbuck in the right-hand channel, passing it into the centre into Danny Hollands. Hollands passing it back out wide to Kavanagh. Kavanagh looking for a cross. And it's going to find a volley of Dan Wooden, who smashes one, and it's high and wide. I'm sure Dan Wooden, he would have wanted to do much better with that opportunity there.
Oh, absolutely. He'll be disappointed with that. The technique was a little bit messed up, but Dan, I'll tell you what, when he gets it right, he gets it right, and he's got some spectacular goals to look back on over his Gosport Borough career. That could have been another one in another timeline, maybe, but not to be. We're still goalless.
Oh yes, like you said, still goalless here at the AEI Stadium. Gosport 0, Salisbury 0. I would start to say maybe this half seems to be favouring Gosport a bit more now.
It is, because they've still got all three substitutions to make. Joe and Pat haven't made a single change yet, so they've got a full bench to choose from. So you've got to sort of look at the impact players that can come on. You've got to look at Borges. You've got to look at Stanley. If they want experience, they've got Antonio Diaz. If you don't want to go a little bit more defensive, you've got Sharp and Hookie. So.
Well, we've seen a couple of times, haven't we, where Sharp's come on in a losing situation. They've mixed around the formation, and in the end, it's worked out. So not necessarily an attacker we need, maybe just a different form of formation.
Zach's a bit of a utility player in many ways, and he can do more than one job, and that's where he's useful. So we'll see. We're 2 steps ahead of ourselves here, James, but they have got their cards to play, whereas Brian Dutton's only got one left.
Well, yeah. Injuries have had to play a big part in this game, and maybe Salisbury already looking a bit tired into this half, as Salisbury still unable to break out of their half.
But that's only what they were doing to Gosport in the first half, so the momentum swung round a little bit, but make no mistake, I think this is going to be what we call a 100-minute game, because you're going to have stoppage time, and the team that will play on to the end has the best chance of winning it.
Well, Smith currently on the ball. Salisbury now getting past the halfway line, but they've lost the ball to Jake Cope. Jake Cope moving forward, passing it out wide to Harry Kavanagh. 20 yards out from goal. Kavanagh whipping in another lovely cross, this time finding the head of Tarbuck, who heads it backwards into Campbell. Campbell in lots of space, but he has got Leggett around him. Passes it back to Danny Hollins. Hollins trying to find a through ball into Dan Wooden, and Wooden does get on the end of it. He has to pass it out wide to Campbell. Campbell with a cross in, but this one's hit out by John Batty. Only as far as Danny Hollins. Danny Hollins going to hit in another cross. But this one, it just escapes all the Gosport bodies and even escapes Cavalry Kavanagh on the other side of the pitch as it goes out for a Salisbury throw just by that Harry Mitson stand and actually in the middle between the stand and the flag.
Like I said, I think the longer this game goes on, the more I believe it'll be a one-goal game.
Yeah.
One goal will decide it. So I think whoever does score that goal will then potentially look to go more defensive and try and defend that goal. But I'm not a manager. That's only what my instinct tells me. But we'll see. We've got to only play 18 minutes in the second half.
Well, yeah, like you said, this second half, it's flown by, hasn't it?
Absolutely, it has. So we're in minute number 63 at the moment, just turning into 64.
Well, still 0-0 here at the AI Stadium as it's Gosport 0, Salisbury 0. It's currently Campbell on the ball, just nearby the dugouts. He's forced into the Gosport half, but it's a brilliant turn, which sees him nearly enter the Salisbury half. The Salisbury manager's just not happy there. I think he wanted a Salisbury throw-in, but Roy Williams, he just looks so cool there and just like, you're not having the throw-in, it's our throw-in.
He doesn't care. Rory, he's seen it all before, and he has got a bit of the wind-up merchant in him, so I've seen that in his career. But Greco-Roman going on out there again.
Oh, I think...
didn't sort of really pay attention to it this time, though.
The Salisbury player just lost his boot there after a challenge on Rafa Ramos. Yeah. But Gosport just trying to find people in the box, but they've lost the ball and Salisbury are marching forward. I think it's Hedges on the ball trying to thread a through ball into Coppen, but it's cut out once again by Rory Williams. And so far, I would probably say Rory, our skipper, has been our man of the match, I'd like to think.
I wouldn't say that's a bad shout, actually. He's had a very good game so far, and we'll see. We'll look again at that with a few minutes left, shall we?
Yeah.
See who is the man of the match.
And Salisbury just... Well, they won back the ball after Kavanagh cross. I think that's been one of our favourite bits so far, probably, the Kavanagh crosses. It's where we've looked most threatening, I would say, so far. But Jacob, he wins back the ball calmly there and passes it to Dutchy Hollins. And Hollins has to pass all the way back to Stewart in goal. Hedges is going to apply heavy pressure. But Gosport just playing it out from the back here. Roy Williams passing it forward into Campbell. Campbell in acres of space. No Salisbury players around him. Simpson has to get back. But Campbell just putting in a ball there. Can't meet any Gosport players.
What I don't get is two Gosport players stood off there and allowed Salisbury to get to that first. But Borough, and I think they are making a change now. Salisbury, they are on the cusp of making another change.
Well, that'd be their final change of the half. So if they do get any more injuries, they're a bit stuffed. Whereas Gosport are still yet to even make a substitute. But Tarbuck just doing very well there to keep hold of the ball. Just progressing past that halfway line, passing it out wide to Jordan in his right-hand channel, 30 yards out from goal. Jordan with the deep cross, trying to find Campbell, and Campbell does volley it. Campbell is claiming it, took a nick off for Simpson there, and it will be a Gosport corner. Rafa Ramos just cheering up this crowd, telling the crowd to just...
Corner.
I'm not sure if you saw Rafa Ramos there. He was just cheering up the crowd, wasn't he? Trying to get them to cheer extra loud.
It's a terrific atmosphere out there.
But let's see if they could have a part to play. We've seen a couple of times where Pat and Joe have said the crowd have had a large part to play in these sorts of games. So maybe they could be the 12th man here. While we'll be Kavanagh with the corner. Kavanagh. And it's a low drilling corner, and it looked as though it was a handball by the Salisbury player. And in the end, it was Campbell who went for a shot, forcing a good save from Rotter. And I'm not sure how that's not a handball there from the Salisbury player. Did the referee just miss it?
He missed it. And I'll tell you what, that was Stonewall handball on his own goal line. So I think that gentleman can count himself very, very lucky the referee didn't see it. Because But to be fair though, Gosport, they're showing a lot more signs of promise. They're showing a real cutting edge now. So let's move on from that and just say that if they can keep on the way they're playing now, then they've got a real chance of winning this. But look at the other end though, and it's a penalty call at the other end, is it? I think that again we've gone from one debatable one to the next. The referee wasn't really interested in that much either, but Williams has been booked. That's on the edge, I think.
Yeah.
Just for the centre. What are we now? 67, 68.
No change for them.
Rory Williams booked 67 minutes.
11 for 7 for them.
11 for 7, yeah?
11 for 7.
So 7 on, 11 off.
Yep.
Okay, so
It's on the board, but have they done it yet?
they haven't done it, have they? Because he's still out there, the 11.
Yeah, the ref hasn't. He's still completing the booking. Isn't he?
Well, we're ready for it anyway. Making the change. Substitution for Salisbury. Coming on, number 7, Charlie Gunson, replacing number 11, Noah Coppin. Salisbury substitution, 67 minutes on 7.
Well, as you heard Jeremy say just says, it was Noah Coppin who's coming off. I think Noah Coppin has been excellent in this half, so maybe a bit of a shock he's coming off. But
again, no tactics, James. And now Gosport have got to be so careful.
well,
this is dangerous.
This is the bit where I hate being a commentator. You just want to close
Who's
your
up
eyes,
behind
don't
it?
you?
I can't see who's up behind this.
Well, there's 5 men, I think, in the Gosport wall. But it's like you said, there's about 3 Salisbury players hovering over this free kick. But it's drilled straight into the Gosport wall. In the end, a really poor free kick. I'm sure it's one he won't want to rewatch on the highlights later. But Salisbury still keeping hold of the possession. John Batty hoofing it back into the danger zone. Might cause a bit of trouble as Corey Jordan has to header it away. It's just outside of the box hovering before eventually being cleared. And now it's gone all the way back to the Salisbury keeper in Rutter. And it was just a moment of nerves there for the Gosport fans. It was a free kick right on the edge of the box, but as like we said, it was drilled straight into the Gosport wheel. So in the end, it came to nothing. Now Salisbury, they're going to have to rework another attack. It's John Batty, around 15 yards from his own goal. Turns, passes it back to Rutter. I think John Batty getting angry at Dan Wood in there, but yeah. Now Penny, dishing the ball forward. But it's going to be a throw in. It's going to be Corey Jordan taking the front. Nope, it's going to be Kavanagh taking the front. And it's going to be a quick one to Corey Jordan.
See that Cheshire are a goal up at Sholing.
Oh, no, well, that's not good.
But Bracknell losing 3-0 at home to Dorchester. It just shows you the bottom sides do pack a punch.
Well, a couple of those teams, as you mentioned, they'll be aiming for the playoffs. And I think that Cheshire game, if it ends 0-0 here, surely that's the title race over.
You would think it would have to take a massive slip up from the Generals to lose that.
Yeah.
But again, football's a strange thing. It's a funny creature, fickle goddess.
Well, it's Jake Cope currently on the ball. Gosport coming in numbers. It's hit out wide to Campbell in the left-hand channel, 20 yards out from goal. Rafa, he's lining up a shot, but it's gone straight into the defender. Campbell on the rebound. He's going to deliver another in-swinging cross, trying to find Rafa Ramos. But once again, it's well dealt with by Salisbury as it goes out for a Gosport throw-in. And it will be Sam Hookey coming on, I would imagine, for Jake Cope. Yeah, it's going to be Jake Cope coming off for Sam Hookey. Hookey, he's had a brilliant first half and a brilliant first debut. Yeah. Well, Jake Cope, he's definitely had a brilliant first home debut for the club. But let's see what Hookey can do. He scored a brilliant goal not so long ago here at the AEI Stadium. It was against Sholing, just outside of the box. So maybe he can aim for something like that again.
72 minutes.
Corey Jordan, around 15 yards from the halfway line. And Jordan just teeing up a shot. It was a low shot, and in the end, I think it was an easy save from Rutter, who just had to get down low to collect the ball there. I'm surprised Jordan went for the shot there, but maybe just saw the keeper off his line. But in the end, it didn't really cause too much damage. Salisbury may be able to come forward in numbers now. It's Simpson passing it forward to Robinson. Robertson playing it out wide. but the pass is hit too powerful, and it will be a Gosport goal kick in reaction.
So you go to Prince of Wales on Thursday?
Yes.
And it's going to be, as I say, Toby Stewart, a goal kick. And he takes another short one into Joe Morrison. Maybe this seems to be the new tactic by Joe and Pat. Now Salisbury are starting to apply a bit more heavy pressure towards Toby Stewart. And it has forced Toby Stewart into passing into Dorr. Dorr. Passing it into... Oh, Dorr wins it back anyway. Out wide to Simpson. Simpson trying to lift the ball in. Can Stewart come out to collect it? But no, it beats him and it's a bit too far. And Kavanagh has to nod it out for a Salisbury throw-in. Down the other side of the pitch to where I'm watching. It's just by the corner flag, the left corner flag.
Craig, I'm going to announce the attendance in a couple of minutes. Next stoppage, confirm it is 1120.
A lot of players moving in that Gosport box. So maybe they are going to go for the long throw-in here, Salisbury. But it's hit away by Corey Jordan, and now it's smashed away by Bradley Tarbuck. But will go straight to Rutter in goal. Now John Batty. Looking for his options and passes it forward to 7. Now it's Dorr. Moving down this left-hand channel. Passes it into more centralised, into Penny. Now out wide to Simpson in this right-hand channel, just on the edge of the box. Delivers a low-driven cross, and Harry Kavanagh has to get on the end of it just to make sure no Salisbury players can get on the end either. And he hits it out for a corner ball.
Yeah,
A Salisbury corner ball.
And Gosport, a little bit of panic setting in there. So just need to compose themselves and just, compose yourselves, boys. This is going to be a crucial moment.
By the last 10 minutes, it's definitely seen a shift. Salisbury looking a lot more menacing going forward now. Gosport seem just to rattling out of shots. So maybe we need to add some more substitutes to the game.
Got a quarter of an hour to go, James. We're still goalless, but still think the one goal will do it either way. But we shall see.
Well, Salisbury just on the left-hand channel, trying to pick across into the centre of the box. That's going to trickle all the way back to Campbell. Campbell pass it forward to Rafa Ramos. Around 18 yards out from the Gosport goal. Gosport still unable to clear it. But it's Campbell who has to eventually clear it into Dan Wooden just on the halfway line. And it will go out for a Salisbury throw near their dugout. It's Smith who passes it into Leggett. Leggett now in the central circle. Leggett is going to dispatch a ball into Simpson. But Campbell has to head it out for another Salisbury throw-in. It's 18 coming out to collect it. And he has to throw it into John Batty. John Batty into 18. Now it's forward into Penny. Williams just trying to win it back for Gosport, but unable to. It's 18 back on the ball. He's got Penny on the overlap. Those two are working well together in this right-hand channel, just by the corner flag. It's 18. Dancing his way forward. But he puts in a deep cross, and it's once again needed to be dealt with by Kavanagh. He is. He just has to keep touching it out for a corner ball.
Trouble is,
He knows where he's going at least, doesn't he?
I know.
Well, it looks as though they're trying to get it towards Dorr at the back post, but luckily Kavanagh's been there every time so far. But it's going to be a corner ball, Penny taken. But missing every Salisbury player, and it's Rafa Ramos who hits away, but only as far as Dorr. Dorr hitting it back to 18. Leggett launching one forward. Can Rafa win it back? No, he can't. It's 14 dancing his way through the Gosport defenders, but it does go out for a goal kick. And I believe we're just about to hear the attendance now from Jeremy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official attendance at the AEI Stadium this afternoon is a season's best 1,120. Thank you very much for displaying outstanding support. Thank you.
Well, you just heard from Jeremy there. It's a season's best for attendance this season. And to be fair, it's probably what you expect. It looks so many people around this Gosport pitch. But it's good to see this amount of attendance for a non-league game, isn't it?
It's fantastic. Non-league football has gone through something of a renaissance, certainly since COVID. People are realising it's more cost-effective, more personal, local. It's not just Gosport. You've seen massive gates at Merthyr, Totton, Sholing, Chesham, they're all seeing big gates there, and it's fantastic.
Well, let's hope these Gosport fans can have something to cheer about, as it's Kavanagh down this right-hand channel, 30 yards out from goal. He's nipping more central, and he just looked to cut in there, going for goal, but he drags it wide at the right post. Bit ambitious there from Kavanagh.
A little. There are better options on there for him, but never mind. It doesn't matter. We've got about 12 minutes of normal time to go. 0-0. Anyone can still win this. Anyone can still lose it. It's actually not been a bad game at all.
No, it's been an exciting 0-0, hasn't it?
It's been an excellent 0-0. You get some 0-0s where it's a bit of a snooze fest.
Yeah.
Not this change coming up. Yeah, I think Gosport are preparing to make their second change now.
Well, let's hope it's a change that won't be
Alfie
changed
Stanley,
when
I
we go
think.
behind. Yeah, I think you could be right.
Stanley. Yeah.
Well, be Alfie Stanley, if it is him, he will be making his debut for the club. Maybe a player who could have a big say in the ending of this game. But it's Toby Stewart dishing one forward into Corey Jordan. Jordan looking to progress past the halfway line, but he passes it back to Hookie on the edge of the central circle. And the pass might just meet the run of Dan Wooden, originally meant for Tarbuck there, but yeah, Dan Wooden still got on the end of it. He passes it back to Rory Williams, just on the halfway line. Passing into the centre of the Salisbury half into Sam Hookie. Hookie originally trying to pass it forward, but it hit Salisbury body and boomeranged back to him. By Gosport, just playing it around in the centre of the half. Now Campbell in the left-hand channel. Playing across into Hookie. Hookie does well to win it. He passes it on to Rafa Ramos, but Rafa Ramos loses it to John Batty. Morrison heads it forward once again.
Yeah, Gosport are just starting to box Salisbury in a little bit now, and they just need to sort of tighten the noose a little bit. But the substitution is imminent. Here it comes.
Well, the flag has now been just raised, and we're just waiting for the digital board to come up. But I think it's already confirmed. Well, we can now confirm it's going to be Alfie Stanley coming on. But who's he going to be coming on for? Oh, it's going to be Rafa Ramos coming off. Rafa, he's had a good shift today. Had a very good shot. I believe it was on the 65th minute. He went for goal after a good cross from Kavanagh. It was Rafa Ramos on the edge of the box. He went for goal towards the bottom corner. It was a powerful shot, but it was a good save from Rutter. So I would definitely say Rafa, he's had a good game today, but let's see what young Alfie Stanley can do. He's probably best known for his time at Pompey, coming through the youth ranks there. But he has had stints with the likes of AFC Totten. Didn't have too much game time with Totten, but let's see what he can do with Gosport. Wooden tries to head it backwards to Tarbuck, but unable to get on the end of it. And I was just saying to the listeners that Alfie Stanley is a good player, probably best known for his time at Portsmouth, but another young player's had bags of experience at this level.
Absolutely right. He's been around the grounds, around the clubs at this level. Tottenham, most recently, of course. But he's also had spells at Havant, Bognor. He's certainly done the same. But look out.
Well, it's Hedges who's just won a ball off of Hookie there, but he couldn't make the most of it as Simpson has to pass it backwards. But Hedges has won a ball and he tries to thread a ball into 17. 17 goes for goal, but it's a good block there from Corey Jordan, who just tracks back in time, but it will be a Salisbury corner. It was good tracking back there from Corey Jordan.
Yeah, to be fair, well defended there by Corey. Salisbury threatening now, so it just shows you can never, ever, ever switch off.
Well, it's going to be a corner taken from Dorr. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, Gosport just need to be resolute at the back now. Just make sure that they've got all the runners picked up. No mistakes here.
That's a deep cross, but it's headed away by Corey Jordan.
Corey Jordan with the clearance, but Salisbury aren't quite done yet.
Well, Storr with another cross into the box. This one's headed away by Rory Williams. 16 puts another ball into the box, the edge of the box, but Joe Morrison heads it forward to Bradley Tarbuck. Tarbuck, he's surrounded by Salisbury players. Just trying to play a pass there into Alfie Stanley, and Stanley does do well enough to win Gosport a throw-in. Quick throw-in from Bradley Tarbuck towards Alfie Stanley. Now back to Tarbuck. Tarbuck having to pass it back to Joe Morrison as there was no options in front of him. Now Rory Williams. He's going to do another cross forward into Campbell. It's a good touch from Campbell there. Campbell passing it into the centre into Danny Hollins, into Hookie. The two midfielders just exchanging passes, and Hookie has to pass it back once more to Rory Williams. Now Morrison inside the central circle, lifting the ball forwards, aiming for Campbell, but it's just too heavy hit.
Yeah, a little bit over ambitious from Joe there. He'll be disappointed with that. But never mind, we've got a 7 to play and all to play for.
Well, I like how they're trying to aim crosses towards Campbell. He looks to have a brilliant first touch and looks as though that's one of his big selling points, if you ask me.
Yeah, didn't he do well there? You're very assured there. Not a lot of space in which to operate. But what's the referee up to? Just wants the throw taken from its appropriate place.
Yeah. And Campbell there, just in the action once again, heading it forward to Stanley. Stanley sprinting through this left-hand channel. Tries to get a pass across, but it takes a nick off for number 18. Hollins heading back into the danger zone. And it's a sliding tackle from Hollins there. That challenge, I'm not too sure it was a great challenge. Let's say it was very high and the studs were shown, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's a yellow here for Danny.
It will be. It will be. It will be. Luckily, he's not already on a yellow, so
Well,
should just be a yellow.
it's Simpson down.
He needs to walk away. Danny just needs to walk away. Yellow card.
Well,
yes.
we can confirm it's a yellow for Danny Hollins there after the foul on Simpson. Just the studs were showing. It's definitely a yellow card, but got a bit rowdy down there, so maybe it could have been upgraded. But the break, it just gives both teams to have a little step. Oh yeah, it will be number 18 booked. Yeah. But yeah, there will just be a break in play here at the AI Stadium as it is still 0-0 here. Both sides have had good chances.
He hasn't been shown the card, has he?
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's got his yellow card out, but
Yeah, he hasn't booked him
no, not too sure what's going on down here. The referee is currently holding these yellow cards. We thought it may have been towards a Salisbury player, but no yellow cards have been shown. The only one has been shown to Dutchy Hollins after the foul. So not too sure what went on there.
Yeah, it was mistimed from Danny. As good as his earlier challenge was, where he got the ball very cleanly, that wasn't quite so good. So it was a yellow card. No arguments for me. Just needed to walk away.
Well, the free kick has just been taken. I'll still run you through some of the results. Brack 0-0, Dorchester 3, Didcot 0, Beaconsfield 1, 0-0 here at the AI Stadium, Hazen Yedden 0, AFC Tottenham 1, Hendon 2, Hungerford 2, Poole Town 0, Basingstoke 1, Shola 0, Chesham 1, Swindon Supermarine 1, Harrowborough 3, and Walton and Hersham 1, Tiverton 0. So some big results there. Chesham leading. That's probably the one that affects us the most.
Yeah, Tiverton away next weekend for Gosport, a long trip down there.
Yeah.
And not a stadium where Gosport tend to do very well. So it would be a good result to get down there.
Well, I suppose that's been Gosport's Achilles heel this season, losing to those lower ranked sides.
Yeah, absolutely right.
And it's Danny Hollins there, just trying to whip a deep ball into Dan Wooden, but John Batty had to intercept it. But Kavanagh tries to lift the ball into Dan Wooden, but once again, just unable to get on the end of it, Dan Wooden. Corey Jordan playing it outward to Kavanagh, now changed position. Back to Jordan. Once again, back to Kavanagh, but Kavanagh loses his spell possession as it will be a Salisbury throw-in. It's hit back to Smith. Smith teeing up across, hoping to find Robinson, but falls all the way back to Campbell. Campbell just turning and escaping Robinson. Robinson playing it out wide to Tarbuck. Tarbuck back to Williams. Williams into Dutchy Hollins. Hollins into Williams, who escapes Robinson. Plays it horizontal into Corey Jordan. Now Kavanagh on the ball. Exchanging passes between Alfie Stanley, but Kavanagh is now going to deliver a ball into the box, but once again finding the feet of John Batty.
Well, we've got about 2.5 minutes to the stoppage of normal time here, James, and still 0-0. And You could have a rousing finale to this.
Yeah, you definitely could, especially with added time. We're still unable to know how many minutes that is, but I can't imagine it would be too many.
Not as many as the first half, because there hasn't really been any stoppages this half. You had the injury to the lad down there from the Danny Holland's challenge, but I'd suggest that's about it.
Well, it was a poor pass there, but it's well kept in by Campbell
Yeah.
as Rory Williams tries to find Alfie Stanley, but instead he finds Smith. Smith lifts one forward. Toby Stewart having to come outside of his box to hoof one forward. I think it may have hit a fan down there. But yeah, it's going to be an edgy couple of final minutes. That's for certain.
Yeah, well, we've got about 90 seconds of normal time left, and we'll see the ball very soon as to how much is being added on.
Well, it's going to be Smith by the touchline, taking the throw in. Launches one forward into Danny Hollands. But it's a late throw in. It's going to be Campbell taking it just on the halfway line. Instead, Roy Williams, he's offered to take the throw in. Campbell now going to be one of the options. But Williams chooses to lift one forward into Dan Wooden. And Campbell just going over the head of door there. I'm not sure that's a foul, but
no, he was trying to win the ball in the air, and it's the way he's come down.
Yeah.
And he's landed awkwardly. He came down on sort of his wrist, so he's jarred his arm. So he should be okay given a minute. But I'd imagine Salisbury will get the ball back because they were in possession.
Well, John Batty, the captain of Salisbury, just telling his men to get forward into Gosport's half. Maybe their last chance.
Has been indicated by the assistant referee.
Yeah, 4 minutes.
I've just seen that, so I'll get ready for the announcement.
Well, we haven't had the board go up, but the referee did signal it.
It's just about to be. Ladies and gentlemen,
and it's Joe Morrison who tries to clear it, but it's taken a ricochet. Now Corey Jordan has to head forward. Well, 4 minutes is a long time towards this game. Potentially a time for a late goal. And I'm hoping that's not going to be a Salisbury goal. A 7 goes for a deep cross, and it finds the back of number 19. And 19 finishes it, and surely that's the win for Salisbury.
The 19, yeah?
It's definitely, 19.
Jaden Perez.
Perez with a goal.
Well,
I'm pretty 50. Litter says 19.
Huh?
Litter said it was 19, but it was definitely 1 something, I think. But surely that's the win for Salisbury now. It was still with the cross into, like I said, I think it was 19. I can't be certain. Unfortunately, we do have a pillar just in the way. Was blocking our viewing. But yeah, that's definitely upset us, and I'm sure that's the 3 points for Salisbury towards the end of the game.
Looks that way, doesn't it?
It does. I'll look online now to see.
Josh Hedges.
Oh, Hedges. Oh, 14, sorry.
14 and 90 minutes.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, goal for Salisbury scored in the 90th minute. The scorer number 14, and Josh Hedges.
Well, that's exactly what we didn't want, wasn't it?
No. Goal Salisbury, 90 plus 1, 14, Josh Hedges.
Give him 3 points. Come on.
Well, it looks like that's the way it's going.
No, it ain't. No, done yet.
Oh, and Gosport goes for a shot. I'm not sure who that was there. I was just doing the tweet. I wonder, do you think it's something? Oh, I believe one of the Gosport coaches just tripped over there trying to deliver a cross. Oh, was it Harvey Root? Oh, poor Harvey. Let's just hope that hasn't deflated all the Gosport fans. I'm sure a goal now would elevate the roofs here at the AI Stadium.
Well, I said to you, didn't I? It could go either way. It's on a knife edge, but Gosport now, with 2 minutes of stoppage time left, have got to haul themselves back into it.
Yeah. Oh, and it's in the back of the net. It's Bradley Tarbuck with a goal. It's a lovely corner. It's from the new signing Campbell. Campbell with a lovely cross from that corner, finding Tarbuck at the back post. And it's exactly what I said. The roof has been elevated at the back. The roof has been elevated here at the AI Stadium. It was Bradley Tarver just smashing one in the back of the net. And what a goal it is from the winger here to win to surely win Gosford at least a point now. What a goal! And what a response!
Gosport Borough equaliser in the second minute of stoppage time. The scorer, number 7, Brad Tarver.
Well, it was the music we all wanted to hear, and what a goal that is, and what a response from this Gosport team. Let's just see if Gosport can add another goal and get those massive 3 points.
Wow.
Tell Craig. I missed that.
I think he heard that. What a roar that was.
It was.
Just in case you didn't hear, Craig, and I'm sure you did, equaliser 90 plus 2, Brad Tarver.
Come on, Borough. Bring the roof down, come on.
What a finish. But again, Salisbury aren't done yet here, James. I'll tell you what, they're trying to break down the right-hand side. This is Hedges again. Gets the cross in. It's not away. Yep, not properly at least. A slip from a Salisbury player. I didn't see who it was. It might have been the 16 there, but they're still skirting for a second goal, which would surely win it here if they did find it.
No,
and Gosport,
no.
desperate defending. Hedges on the right-hand side of the area while you're still tweeting. It's away, dust, ditch defending here. But Salisbury still come at Gosport down the left-hand side. And we're literally, this should be it now. This should be the end of the game. But still, the cross comes in from the right-hand side. And I think it's out for the corner, I'm sure. And this is going to be it. This is the last chance. We're 30 seconds over what we should be playing here.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, it's absolute scenes here at the AI Stadium, and as Jeremy just said there, will be a late Salisbury corner, and what will surely be the last chance of the game. So let's just hope Salisbury can't capitalise. Rotter hasn't come up yet, so I don't think they want to risk the point, but let's see what Salisbury can do. The Gosport players just manning up. Finding Robertson. Gosport still unable to clear it. Can Dutchy Hollands clear it? And it's gone out. And it's full time here at the AI Stadium. 2 goals in added time as it's Salisbury 1, Gosport 1. It was a goal from Josh Hedges which saw a cross from Dorr. Dorr hit a deep cross into Hedges at the back post. All he had to do was tap it home, and in the end that saw the goal. But straight after that goal, a Gosport corner from Kavanagh saw Tarbuck at the back post smash it in the back of the net in an open goal, which saw us get an absolute incredible equaliser, which means the points are shared here at the AI Stadium as it's Gosport 1, Salisbury 1. Jeremy, what an end to the game. You couldn't ask for much more, could you?
Not at all. And I think you've got to look back on that and say that's a completely fair result. I thought Salisbury had won it. Brad Tarbuck had other ideas. So, yeah, one apiece. Fair. 2 very evenly matched teams have given us one to remember yet again.
Well, I know it's early on, but could this potentially be a playoff final, providing both teams do get off to the playoffs?
Yeah, why not? I mean, at the moment, what that has done is strengthen both teams' playoff positions at the moment, with 2 months of the season left. So, yeah, wouldn't you love to see it? Because I bet you, if you did, you would get 1,200, you get 3,200 for that.
Well, I think you could be right. And what a way to round off this evening. A brilliant attendance and an even better score. Jeremy, you know how to end it. Final words, up the borough.